I mean, if I found it for $70,
I think it is, and that's why my point was. I think it's you got most people think of those Smoky Islands. I feel like it's over here a little bit. It's a little off center.
So it's a Smoky Island.
What would you think this would?
It's, What's up, everybody?
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys in the Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase.
Might be one of these.
They're tiny.
One of what?
It says the bottle's not here.
My name is.
My name is.
My name is Kilchoman, Machir Bay, 58.6% ABV.
How did we get these, Mark?
We took a trip down to the Bastards Ball, a weekend or two ago.
Yeah.
And these were given to us by a subscriber that we ran into.
Tom B.
Tom B. He gave us 2
Great
samples
guy.
that TSA was generous
Oh my
enough
gosh.
to let us
We're
get through.
Get through TSA.
Because they did pull them. But it's an interesting bottle because it's a limited edition Machir Bay. It's a Christmas
2020 Christmas, December. And they have Santa hats on something.
sheep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more different than your typical Machir Bay, but it was released last 2020 Christmas, and it was about $75. Let's say 55 British pounds is where I don't think you're going to find it anymore. Maybe you can, but I'm interested in it because it's a limited edition and it's a Kilchoman.
Yeah, well, we did a review of Machir Bay before, and it was a light, lemony, lightly peated whiskey, so we enjoyed it as a great summer dram at regular bottling strength.
Yeah, but this is strong like bull.
This is strong like bull, so we'll see what happens with it.
I'm just excited we're doing a Kilchoman.
I know, right?
It's been.
I mean, what do you like about Kilchoman? When I hear that Kilchoman, I think that from farm to bottle, right?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they're doing all of it. They're doing 0 to hero, man.
Well, and they're kind of like set back out of the way. They're not over by a lot of the other distilleries, and they were kind of, I think, one of those first distilleries because you had like all the old school distilleries kind of around each other, and they were kind of one of those that was like pushing the boundaries. They were brand new, not too long ago, and now there's other distilleries
traditional
coming online.
methods. They're growing their own grains and barley. I mean, you got to
full deal,
that,
full
right?
deal.
Almost experimental.
Yeah. But 58.6. I know we had a dram of this down there.
I don't remember.
But
Oh.
Drew says it right. I don't remember. There's
Let's get the nosing.
Yeah, so this is peated at about 50 ppm, finished in mostly bourbon barrels and some sherry. So that's where you're going into this.
It's got some peat.
Yes, it does.
Very light in color.
58.6 will get you.
50 ppm is typically that peated, but again, Machir Bay is a non-age statement, so it could be young peated whiskeys.
It's very light in color.
And at 58.6, that's gonna come in even. You're getting some vapor, some of that alcohol.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second to get through it. But the first initial nose, the very first thing I got was smoky pineapple.
Yeah, I could smell it. It's some smell of light.
It's a very pungent sweetness, almost pineapple, and then that smoke is just. Then it's vapors for the alcohol.
Yeah, that vapor's got to come off.
See, I'm not getting alcohol on the nose. It's not like burning my nose out. Weird.
But it is kind of like, how would you say that pineapple sweetness? Like it's just like concentrated, sugary, and juicy.
Yeah. A very, very ripened pineapple.
But it's got some vanillas and it's got some campfire smoke on there.
Yeah.
Like it's got a very complex nose.
Oh, it's going to be hot, boys. Let's get in there.
Let's hit it. It's hot.
Holy smoky.
Huh.
Man, that's a sweet smoke.
So my initial thought on this is they played to the fact that this was going to be a high ABV whiskey. And so you've got that peat that hits you up front, and by the time it starts to fade, the sweetness comes in and kind of carries through. But you've also got the heat from the alcohol that kind of replaces the peat and smoke and helps carry the sweetness all the way back through the finish.
That's a great way to say it.
Exactly. So I got the like a campfire smoke initial palate. It rolled into blueberries.
Blueberries.
And then, but I didn't get any alcohol burn. I think the peatedness is enough to coat that for about half the palate. And then that half the palate, the heat comes up, and I get a lot more charcoal smoke on the finish. It's like it starts smoky, goes through a sweet zone, and then comes back out smoky.
I got your blueberries now.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying.
Interesting. So, when it comes to the smokiness, you know, the burnt that I get on the nose, it's almost like what a campfire smells like after it's been rained on. You know?
Right.
It's a wet.
Wet, damp, but it's still got a little smolder going. It was last night's fire. You just get up, there's dew all over it. It's still got a little bit of smoke coming out of it.
Yep.
That's what it smells like.
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
Maybe throw some marshmallows and pineapple on top of it.
Stoke that
Let
bad
'em
boy
burn
up,
a
put some
little
coffee
Hey,
on.
and some like lemons too. There's some lemon on that.
There is some
Yeah,
citrus in it.
there's some citrusy notes to it as well.
The second sip had a lot more vanilla.
It did.
Yes,
on the
the
initial palate.
second nose. It's just going to say, oh, it's getting that oaky sweetness. It's
I
coming.
cannot
There's
wait to
that
put some
vanilla.
water on this because you
It
know it's
is.
going to help so
It
much.
is.
Even
They do a
even
nice
as I
job.
take the second sip and go back and nose it, there's still underlying things that I haven't even touched yet,
Wow.
and I know that it's because
It's
of the
good.
ABV.
Yeah, don't be afraid of water. in this
So
one,
I got
guys.
lemon rind.
What was it again? 50 what?
Zest?
6.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the
Like
water.
dry lemon or
Yeah, like if you
fresh
were to
lemon?
just
Like a
zest
zest?
Zesting?
Yeah,
Yes,
zest.
exactly.
I love lemon zest.
It's really good in rice, by the way. Hasn't it?
It is.
So it's funny that you described what we thought of Machir Bay, like the just normal version, and I get hints of that, like that summery
Just-
whiskey.
yeah.
But this is so much bigger and bolder and more complex. It feels
I
like.
agree. We thought the original Machir Bay was this kind of light, summery whiskey. This is richer and deeper and much more peated. I think it tastes more peated.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree. I mean, it tastes. It comes for you a little bit.
Is the nose different, guys?
Is it, yeah.
It's all up front though. The peat itself seems very.
You don't get it in the finish?
It's lighter in the finish to me.
Okay.
Like I get it's pungent up front and then it fades off, and it's part of the finish, but it's not a
not
primary component, I guess.
I got more lemon zest in the nose. I didn't have that last time on the nose. Now I'm getting it.
I see. I got that lemon smell. It's actually like turning into more of an earthy smell, almost like
Yeah.
unburnt peat. You know, I don't want to say dirt because it would, but
But it's got
earthy.
that like fresh
Floral.
earth kind of
turned up earth.
yeah.
Okay.
And it does have some floral notes.
Yeah. You definitely get those coming through on the palate. Mid to late palate.
Okay,
With the
that's
water.
much better.
Oh, the water
Much better.
made that palate so much better.
Much better from the palate.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But
Ah,
I didn't get burned out by the palate initially,
Ooh.
so I like this.
I think it needed that. I might have gave it a full. Nah, I didn't even get a full teaspoon. It was probably about a half a teaspoon of water. is what
It
I
feels
put in.
like you put more water on that smoldering fire. You know, it's kind of even more damp. The water on it.
But it's struggling. It wants to stay lit.
Right.
It's fighting.
It's fighting back a little bit. I would say maybe juicier, a little bit more berries, maybe, or something. I can't really pinpoint it yet, but there's definitely something else going on the palate. It's not super strong.
I
it's
am
faint.
getting more super ripe pineapple now.
It's got other tropical fruits. It's very interesting now. But it's now that I've been sipping the one with the water on it for a little bit, the heat's starting to come back a little bit. So I'm guessing that at least part of that might be a spice note that I wasn't getting before,
Sure.
or I was attributing to the alcohol. But there's like some like mango-y papaya type notes underneath
Yeah.
it.
All right.
You
It's
ready?
interesting.
I'll kick
Go
us
ahead.
off here on this one. It's been a while since I started one. So I think neat on the nose. It was tough initially, right? I think it came out and it really kind of punched me. There's a lot of alcohol vapor there. There's some peat, but I think it was more of the alcohol vapor that was really making it hard for me to get past. I did get past it and I did get some of those noses that you guys mentioned, whether it's a campfire, white campfire. I got a little bit of citrus, that sweet pineapple. And then the palate neat was equally strong like bull. It came at you, right? I tell you what, I think the money on this one really came through and shined when I put a little water on it. And it's evolved a few times already since I put water on it. So right before I put the water on, I got that lemon zest on the nose, that one last nosing. After I put water on it, that changed a little bit more into like an earthy, like turned up earth. But then now I take a sip of it on the palate, and it's starting to translate to the finish of what I had on the nose. So I was getting a little bit of that lemon zest, and that's even changing a little bit more and getting briny. at the very last finish, I get a little bit of lemon zest on my late finish, and then all of a sudden it turns a little bit salty, and it's just, I think it's interesting, and I love to see evolution in a whiskey, right? So whether it's going through the neat, water, nose, all of these things, I like to see that, as long as that evolution's not bad. I don't want to see it evolving into a piece of crap. It's not. It's evolving. I'm not saying it's getting much better. It's getting incredible. I think this is a solid 2.53, somewhere in that neighborhood for me right now. I honestly, with the water, I'm going to give it a 3. If you ask me to judge this on a neat only, I would say a 2.5. But I think after I put some water on it and this thing's had an opportunity to open up, I love the fact that it's 58.6 and you have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
So I like this, I think, better neat. It had that robustness of flavor, that charcoaly, going into blueberries, going into more ash at the end. I think this, given time in the glass, at cask strength would be even better, because a lot of that smoke would kind of air off and you just get all the flavors kind of combined better, I think, with a few minutes in the glass. With water, it was okay. It was still good, but I think I liked the potency of flavor better. Because I think, quite honestly, it became almost unidimensional, a little more unidimensional with water, which is a little bit disappointing. But again, I would give this like a 3 neat and maybe a 2.5 with water. So,
all right, we're going to thumb wrestle.
So what did you give it?
Give it a 3.
I gave it a 3, but it was the opposite. I said 2.5 neat, 3 with water. You said the opposite of
I'm going to give it a 3 because that's what they wanted from it. Cask strength is what they put it in there for the reason, and I liked it better neat.
Well, he talked himself in. Did you guys understand
that was
the
easy
reasoning?
talking right there.
Yep.
So I agree with both of you guys. I think you guys made some solid points
How can
here.
you agree with both
Well,
of us? We
because-
completely disagree.
No, you didn't. You both said it was good. Your points were solid in your tastings and everything else. So a couple of things I'll add to it is I got more, some things you didn't say is steak sauce now on the nose. I didn't have that
really?
before.
Steak sauce.
And even on the palate now, the finish, I'm getting kind of like that pretzel aftertaste a little bit, which is kind of nice to chew on. Brininess you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So it's a delicious. Now, a couple of things. Price is right for this. I think it's good. If you're going to buy this bottle, you're going to buy it intentionally knowing that you're going to get something smoky and peaty. It's different from your normal smoky peaties that I had. It's more of a lighter side, which we kind of talked about. Yeah. So it's a different form. That's cool. It's different, and I like that. And I think you're going to get some pretty play out of this as far as the cask strength you guys are talking about, because you're right, with the neat, it was too much for me. I liked it better with water. However, vice versa, right, with you. And so I think you can play with this one and have more opportunities, which is actually a twofer, right?
Yeah,
so it depends on your palate and what you want. You want stronger peat and smoke? Don't put water to it. You want to tame it down a little bit and more approachable? Put some water. It's great. 3 for me as well.
All right.
Uh-oh.
He's been quiet for a while.
He has been
So
quiet.
I've been really thinking about this glass a little bit. So I really liked it neat. I thought it was it was really good neat. I liked the fact that the smoke and the peat kind of faded and they played against the alcohol burn, and it balanced really well. It was almost like a nice dance where one took over for the other. And the sweetness layers were really nice. I just felt like I couldn't access some of the sweet notes. It was just kind of buried underneath because of the heat from the alcohol. With water, the first time I put water on it, it tamed it down a little bit, but I kind of agree with Andrew. I lost a little bit of the complexity, which was kind of disappointing. And I put water on it again just because it is hot, and I kind of wanted to see if I could get it down to a level that I could appreciate. And now I'm down to a level where I'm not getting much smoke or peat. It's still there, but not prevalent. And it's down to like a saltwater taffy. So it's kind of like it took these like really cool, complex sweet notes and turned it into something that was just kind of like, oh, we're at the carnival. And, and so I don't really care for that part of it. So, I mean, I think that it's good, and I'm with Andrew. I think I would just drink this one neat and call it a day. Yep. But it wasn't as, I think that shows maybe a little bit of its youth. That it couldn't hold that complexity over the long haul, right? And so I don't think it's necessarily a knock on the whiskey itself. You just have to know how you like to drink it, right? But I'm still going to give it a 2.5. I mean, it's really solid,
no, that's
but
not bad.
I don't think it's quite to a 3 in my head, but it's a nice whiskey.
So I mean, nobody mentioned price in their right talk up of this.
I thought
right?
about
so,
it, but yes.
you know, let's say this is a $75 bottle.
That's a good deal for that.
You think?
I
you
mean,
think it's
I mean,
worth
I
it?
would buy it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I did-
100%.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I didn't mention it. That
It was part of my
it
equation.
was
as
part
well.
of my equation. as well.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't mentioned, but and I don't want to change anyone's score, so I just want to bring it up. You know, if you do find it out there on the shelf, because there may be one Dusty out there, who knows, and you get it for $75, pick it up.
I will say I do like Drew's point that it's fun to try stuff at cask strength that you've had a regular bottling of.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of fun.
How many regular bottlings have we bought and been like, man, if this was just like six more ABV higher, it would be a beautiful whiskey.
You got some wiggle
At
room.
least they put one out there for you. Hardbag does it,
take
but
it.
you got to be committee and not only just be a
Right, you know
committee, but-
somebody and
yeah.
slip them a 20.
So I'm really thankful. Tom B, thank you
Thank
so
you, Tom.
much.
Thank you.
for-
Great to meet you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
we had a good time with you, man.
All right, so 3.3325.
Yep, so 2.875.
You got it, man.
I'm starting to get this
Good
memorized. It
guys,
only took
math
6 years.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
3,
Cheers.
2, 1.
Here we go.